Of ABCs Plus, brought to you by Advanced Biological Concepts, and the presenter this evening is Kendra Halfter. We're going to start with just a little, give you a little foundation of a healthy microenvironment. When a healthy microenvironment is nearly perfect, it contains colonies of bacteria and a few yeast organisms that live together without harming us. They're actually there to protect us. The primary sites of colonization are the mouth, the skin, the genital organs, and the intestinal tract. The body has a mechanism where it can actually tell the difference between healthy bacteria and unhealthy bacteria. Again, that protection mechanism for us. Inside the intestine, the unhealthy or pathogenic bacteria create an immune response against healthy bacteria, which will lead to diarrhea, colic, constipation, dysbiosis, or leaky gut syndrome, to name a few. This little history and understanding of ABC. Our mission is to improve the quality of life for mankind by improving the quality of life for animals through natural nutrition. We want to assist healing using the tool nutrition. And since food is that applicator for nutrition, we found that it would be best for our products and best for our animals that we're helping to become a certified organic processor and handler. That was done back in 2003. What does that mean? That means that each ingredient, food ingredient that comes into the plant and all the way through the manufacturing processes and also then shipped out, everything is certified organic. We have a certified organic certificate, and anything that we purchase, we have to have a certified organic certificate from that vendor or that supplier. Any vitamin or mineral or other things like that are listed on the NOP list as allowable ingredients, but they are still kept track of. ABCs Plus is one of our best tools that we use to support healing through the nutrition. This is an ABCs Plus label. You cannot read it here, so we're going to go through the aspects of that in the webinar. Prebiotics, the term prebiotic was originally defined in 1995, and prebiotic is what ABC Plus is and what our product Probi is also considered. Probi had that name, however, prior to 1995, before the term prebiotic actually came into conception. It was explained by Dr. Marshall Roberfroid. He redefined it again in 2007 in the Journal of Nutrition. And then again in 2010, Dr. Roberfroid and 20 other international health scholars published in the British Journal of Nutrition an article titled Prebiotic Effects, Metabolic, and Health Benefits. From that article and some other research that I was able to obtain the data on this chart. A prebiotic is considered a fermented ingredient to create a positive change in composition and activity of the microflora of the gut. Probiotics, they're live cultures. They're live bacteria that we introduce into the digestive system or the gut. Prebiotics, they are not affected by heat, cold, digestive fluid, or time. Probiotics, they must be kept live. Thus, you'll see that they need to be refrigerated. They are also destroyed by heat, digestive acid, and will deteriorate with time. Prebiotics have anti-carcinogenic activity. They actually are able to reduce the occurrence of some cancers. They have antimicrobial activity, where they are able to inhibit the growth of antimicrobials such as bacteria, fungi, and protozoans. They stabilize blood glucose levels, specifically if a diet is correct. If we're feeding a poor choice diet, then there will be a struggle for them to do that. They boost the immune system. They help improve mineral absorption and balance. And you may question, I'm just going to go back, you may question, well, how can a prebiotic actually support the immune system? Well, 60% of the lymphatic system is encompassed or entwined with the digestive system. So they are very close related. What affects the digestive system may or may not also be affecting the immunity of the horse. They improve mineral absorption and balance. They rid the gut of harmful microorganisms. And a process or a way that they do that is termed crowding out of undesirable organisms. It's also known as competitive exclusion. This is an action where that will promote better gut integrity and function, increase immune system function, and improve calcium absorption. So in other words, crowding out, they are crowding out or excluding pathogenic bacteria. There's only so much space, and in a way to protect us and to protect our digestion and our immunity, they are crowding out the other poor microorganisms or bacteria. On the probiotic side, if you introduce a live culture, it may stimulate a microflora imbalance. And the best way that I can envision this for you is if you have a fish tank, one that you would have in your living room, and you have your angelfish, and you may have a beta or a Japanese fighting fish, and you have your algae eaters, and the water's clean and fresh. You've got your filters. Everything's happy. You've got a good ecosystem there. And then all of a sudden, we throw in another beta or another Japanese fighting fish. My understanding is that they don't get along, and so one of them is going to have to go. And if we include anything else in that ecosystem, it has to be recreated, reformulated, and everybody has to go through some type of stress and adjustment. Getting out of the fish tank, prebiotics also stimulate detoxification. If you feed probiotics at high doses for long periods of time, it may stimulate a detoxification in that animal. A lot of the horses that we do work with, and they predominantly start on the ABCs Plus, are already compromised by some stress or some health issue. The last thing that we want to do is stimulate that horse to go into a detox. Back on the prebiotic side, prebiotics nourish good bacteria already present within the gut. On probiotics, they must compete with over 1,000 bacteria species already present within the gut. There, if you want to visualize the fish tank again. They also do not colonize well when introduced and are eliminated quickly like the other beta. Prebiotics escape the acid of the upper intestinal tract to provide benefits for the microorganisms of the large intestine and the cecum of the horse. Probiotics, unless encoded, will be destroyed by upper digestive fluids. And lastly, prebiotics you will receive the best results if they're used daily. We want to keep the digestive environment flourished and fed and in balance, and that's what prebiotics do. Probiotics, I do believe that they have a purpose for short-term use and as needed, and that would be post-antibiotics or post-deworming, post-surgery, those types of things where actually a lot of bacteria has been, digestive bacteria has been depleted or destroyed. other goodies in the ABCs Plus. The first one is enzymes. In every single metabolic function in the body is governed by enzymes. All minerals, all vitamins are eaten, and all of the hormones in the body produces needs enzymes in order to work properly. If you process food, cook food, heat food, enzymes are destroyed. That may be pelleted feeds, sweet feeds, and you wonder, well, what about the ABCs Plus? Well, it's pelleted. Our pelleting system does not heat. It's a cold processing. Enzymes are not lost in that process. So we want to keep the live enzymes that are coming through the feed sources. When the body is deprived of food-supplied enzymes, it will actually sacrifice its own metabolic enzymes to digest food. Well, that's certainly not a positive thing to happen inside the body. So enzymes are added in the ABCs Plus as a safety net. We want enzymes, there are to be enough enzymes in the digestive system so that other enzymes are not robbed from other bodily functions. We have organic herbs in the ABCs Plus that support digestion. To list a few, we have peppermint, violet leaves extract, garlic, horseradish, parsley, a couple others. We used to have ginger, and ginger can be tested in competitive horses. So a couple years back or more so, it unfortunately had to be removed from this product. Yeast cultures. They help with fermentation, breaking down and processing of food stores. We have organic apple cider vinegar in here. It's a pH adjuster. It also helps with cleansing processes. Organic aloe vera is in here, and it helps with maintaining the stability of the intestinal lining. Aloe vera is good for other digestive purposes, but with the onset of ulcers, aloe vera gel is there to help as preventative maintenance and for the intestinal lining. We do have some toxin absorbents, some betonites, the vinegar, and we do have minute amounts of diatomaceous earth which will absorb nitrates, and those will come in through your water. Pre-digested food sources are also in the ABCs Plus. They are already broken down for your horse digestive system to utilize, and then later to help recognize any type of food change or feed change. Digestive system, not horse. There are a lot of goodies in the ABCs Plus, vitamins and minerals, chelated minerals as well, and these are solely for the use of the digestive system, not the host of the not the horse. There is a need for vitamins and minerals inside the digestive system so that the mechanisms can work. They need those nutrients, and that's what this product is for. The ABCs Plus is also naturally preserved. We use non-acidic vitamin E, and we use ascorbic acid and citric acid as natural preservatives to keep your product fresh. Some of the scientific data on the ABCs Plus, we started with what you will find commonly in a horse's diet. We have the grain mix, and you can see that it's low in digestibility for the horse to begin with. They are grass and hay eaters, so the grain is going to be a little bit more difficult for them to digest. But when you incorporate the ABCs Plus, which is in the red, it increases it by almost 25%. The grass hay is more digestible. As you can see, that it's double the amount of digestibility as grain, and you will see an improvement there when the ABC is incorporated, up to almost double. The alfalfa hay, again, more digestible. It's more of a softer type of fiber. When you add the ABCs Plus, it increases digestibility above 5%. Mineral absorption. In this chart, again, the ABCs Plus is indicated in the red. Mineral absorption without ABCs Plus, or when it was added into the diet, is in the dark blue. Looking at this visually, you can see that mineral absorption was increased by almost 3 times. And then back on the last screen, I wanted to discuss, too, not only are we helping with digestibility so that we receive natural occurring vitamins and minerals, because it is from the natural food sources that the most available sources of vitamins and minerals are going to be retrieved there. When you are able to break down that fiber more, that means that you will be able to get by with less hay. Protein utilization. Protein is important, not a huge factor in horses. They really don't need a lot of protein to survive and grow healthy muscle mass and for cellular structures. But senior horses, high-performance horses, growing horses, they do need that protein. And when we incorporated the testing with the ABCs Plus and utilization of protein, you can see that, again, it almost doubled, 2.5 times more, increased the protein utilization in that diet. A horse's digestive system, the whole encompass of it is 103.5 feet, and it can hold up to 189 quarts. This is a mock drawing of the digestive system. You can see that the stomach holds 8 to 17 quarts. The small intestine, look at that, it encompasses 70 feet. The cecum, the large colon, all the way down to the small colon, which is titled the large intestine, is 29 feet. But the majority of their digestive organ is the small intestine. Why do we need to support digestion? Well, when we take that 100 feet and we try and cram it into this cavity, this small cavity, and there are a lot of twists and turns and food's going upside down and right side up, and there's sharp curves going into places and coming out of places. And any digestive support that we can give to the animal to move food through, to receive nutrients, to prevent impactions, just anything that we can do. That's why these animals their digestive system is so sensitive. Any preventative maintenance, and which is what the ABCs Plus is for, will help with that. What to expect with the ABCs Plus? You have increased assimilation of natural occurring nutrients. We've already discussed that. Reduced incidences of digestive disturbance. Colic is one of those, but there's so many others. And allergic reactions are reduced. Allergies. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time here. A lot of people have asked about allergies. Many times, because of the relationship between the digestive system and the immune system, is why we will have allergic reactions. If allergens are introduced from the digestive system into the bloodstream and then into the lymphatic fluid, we will see antigens that will create these effects of hives, COPD, other respiratory issues. You might even see scratches, and they will present themselves differently on each horse. So when we're working with a horse with allergies, we look at the animal as a whole, the diet as a whole. what other parts of the regimen might be stressing the digestive system and the immune system. So one of the first things that we do is we'll clean up the diet, and we'll put the ABCs Plus in. And right away I'll start him on the 8 ounces, and we'll talk about that a little bit later also. And to just kind of explain how allergies kind of come about is through the protection. ABC Plus, it helps with protection against the leaky gut syndrome, which is dysbiosis. On the upper left-hand corner of this picture, you will see a healthy intestinal lining. Everything's in order. There's a strong exterior wall, and then inflammation occurs, pointing to damaged intestinal lining. And this usually doesn't happen overnight. This has been a long-term process. And it may be occurring because the horse is being introduced to a food source that it doesn't like. One horse may eat something just fine, but this particular horse may not. You may have been on antibiotics for a long time, or this particular horse may have been on Banamine or Bute or aspirin for a long period of time. Anything that will disrupt the digestive system, and once that gets disrupted, inflammation occurs. When that occurs, the cellular structures start to spread out, and that intestinal lining no longer acts as a strong barrier. So as we come down the arrow where it says leaky gut, you can see that particles, toxins, undigested food particles are being let through this intestinal lining and into the bloodstream. How does that affect the immunity? 60% of lymph tissue surrounds the digestive system. As things fall through the intestinal lining, they just keep falling through into the blood work and then into the lymph fluid. How to use ABCs Plus. Optimally, 4 ounces per day for an average horse, and I like to have that 2 ounces in the morning, 2 ounces in the evening. There are a lot of people that don't have that opportunity to feed twice a day, and that does include myself, so they are getting 4 ounces a day, once a day. The 4-ounce dose will be for gestating mares, lactating mares, weanlings, yearlings, aged horses, adult horses, stallions, and horses in training. When we go to 6 to 8 ounces per day, we're working with the senior horses. They do really well on 8 ounces per day, because as you get older, processes of the body just don't work as well as they used to when we were younger. And horses are having a hard time maintaining their weight, senior horses, maintaining their weight with the quality of our foodstuffs, quality of our hay. Special needs horses, I will also start out at 8 ounces per day, like the horse with allergies, EMS horses, equine metabolic syndrome horses, horses that are maybe traveling a lot. They are introduced to new sources of water, different hay sources possibly, and just the stress of traveling and being in different places. I will keep them on a higher dose of ABCs Plus. And then I was just going to, at the end here, go through a couple of questions that some people did submit prior to the webinar. Someone asked if there are animal health product crossover for human treatments, and we don't work with human supplements, and we don't carry human supplements here. Are there some likenesses between horses and people? It's in the research. They say that there is. Somebody said, I answered that question already. Good. My horses receive vitamin supplements, deep pulp, and flax, but I still have trouble keeping weight on my rescue horses. What other options are available? If they're not on ABC Plus already, go up to that 8-ounce dose. If they're on ABC Plus and we're still not being able to maintain the weight of that horse, we do have another product called Energy. Energy is used a lot in senior horses, and we use it a lot for rescue horses. And it sounds to me like this person here also has it in her heart to rescue several horses. So if that person has any additional questions, she can call in. Question about heaves and allergies and COPD. We kind of discussed that already. So if you want to call in and we can talk about your horse specifically, we can certainly do that. Then lastly, someone asked about oral plaque and swayback. Not really sure how to address this question. I'm hoping this person can call in and we can review that. And someone did ask about managing insulin resistance. And there is, I mean, that's just another topic of its own, but certainly ABC Plus is used here. And there's going to be some other webinars. I think CAM Animal Services put on a webinar through our site not too long ago. But she should also be putting on some webinars that might be able to assist you with that type of horse. And so I thank you for joining us this evening. Welcome to 2011, and wish you the best.